talking about stuff, about things.
Do you know, talking about stuff.
Right,
There's some other stuff I want to talk about.
My nan used to say to me, "Oh, you'll be the death of me." Like,
yeah.
Like imagine, it's like if you said that, and then like you do kill him,
and then she died.
Like
they're putting a world of guilt on you.
Yeah, you're like.
You're listening to Don't Laugh But with Rebecca Elliott and Kirsty Hudson, creating their own unique twatmosphere for your listening pleasure.
Did you call both of your grandmothers Nan?
They were both Nan. Oh, well, I didn't know my dad's mum.
So I think that's quite a class divide. We'll talk about class in another
Oh, well,
one.
they were always Nan.
Yeah.
Was your grandma?
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, grandma and Dillo, which was her name. She was Welsh. Her name was Dillis.
Oh.
And we just called her Dillo.
See, my nan was Welsh.
But my granddad was called Dennis, where everyone called him Brian, but they were Dillis and Dennis.
Oh, I
think is quite
love the
nice.
name Dennis.
Everyone called him Brian.
Sid could have been a Dennis.
Also, if you've got the choice between Dennis and Brian, you actually like the name Dennis?
I like it.
Nobody likes the name Dennis.
I like it. I am that person.
All right.
So my nan was Welsh as well, and I had an Auntie Hilda who was Welsh, and she was my great auntie, and she would call my mum's name is Rowena in real life, but everyone called her Bunty growing up.
Right.
Because my granddad used to sing Bye Baby Bunting to her, apparently. So she was called Bunty. And she used
This is now like hearing the ramblings of an old woman in a people's home.
It comes to a point.
Yeah. Get to a point, love. Get to a point.
Not much of one.
Do you want your cocoa?
Oh. So she'd go...
Yes. She's out of bed again.
She'd go... I'm going to finish the story. She'd say to her, "Oh, Bunty Bach." And I loved that so much. Bunty Bach. And it just means like Bunty love or Bunty dear.
Uh-huh.
And she'd go Bunty Bach or Kirsty Bach.
That's not a bad accent.
That's the only Welsh word. I can say, like, I can do the Irish accent if I say the D-U-P. That's it. I can do that.
Ian Paisley.
Yeah. Or I can't, Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Not a cup of tea. Can't do that.
No, that was terrible. Oh,
sorry to all the people of Yorkshire. I can't. Oh, I did have I used to. I'll come back to that. I'll address that because there's something I can say in a very good Yorkshire accent.
Nobody wants you to come back to that. Nobody's listening to this thinking, I hope she comes back to that, because that Yorkshire accent was amazing.
No, but there's a phrase that I can say.
Podcasting gold, that was.
But the DUP.
Ian Paisley.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that right.
You sounded like you were from Yorkshire. I like that.
Okay, so here we go again. And this time we are doing happiness.
Are you happy today?
Kind of. I mean, then you turned up, so it's
Hello.
going downhill. We should say welcome to what's it called?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Don't Laugh But. With
a podcast straight from the twatosphere.
Oh, you got it wrong again.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, straight from the twatmosphere.
Twatmosphere. It should be twatmosphere. Twatmosphere. Welcome. Hello.
There it is. So yes, today we're going to talk about happiness. So are you feeling happy? You're quite a happy person, I think.
Well,
quite annoyingly happy.
Yeah, I've always seen myself as that. But yeah, the things that make me happy are mostly sitting down or being horizontal.
Right.
Like, because when I'm sitting down, I'm either watching television, I'm eating.
Yeah.
And when I'm laying down, I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
You know? And I think about going back to bed from the moment I get out of my bed.
I love sleep.
I love sleep. Like, when did that happen? Like, my kids hate... Even my 14-year-old still, like, push against going to sleep. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and going back to the death thing, which obviously we did last week, when I think about, I'm scared of death, but then I think, I love going to sleep.
I know. Like, sleep is like a little mini death, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you have a little one.
Exactly.
Like, there's a comic, Rob Orton, who says, like, having a little sleep is having a little break from yourself.
It is. It is.
So true. It's like...
And if I was you, I'd want a lot of breaks for myself.
Oh.
So I can understand
Well,
that.
I think, yeah, I know, I need them.
Yeah.
But I think that when you like...
But those things, the sitting down, the watching Holly and the Silver Fox, the watching Coronation Street,
Love it.
That doesn't bring you overall life happiness.
It does. No,
you'd be happy for your life.
Let me tell you why.
But come on, your kids on top of that, your job. You're someone who has actively made sure that your job is fulfilling to you.
Absolutely.
So, you put a lot of effort into that.
They do. My job and my kids bring me lots of happiness, but they also bring me huge amounts of stress too, right?
Yeah, but you've got to have that to get to the happiness. The life with no stress is not happy.
But watching Phil and Holly, watching Coronation Street, sitting down watching television brings me no stress. And going to bed at night, nothing is expected of you. That is why. Like, there is no expectation. All of what I do is
if you could get away with it, you would just sit on your arse the entire time.
I have said this many times. My life goal is to watch more television. It makes me happy, and to have snacks.
See, I think I've wasted time. I like watching telly. You know, I love watching Game of Thrones. A couple of hours a night, not a problem. Doesn't matter. It's much better than Holly and...
you watch Holly and Phil.
Yeah.
You watch them though. They're geniuses.
Shut up about Holly and Phil.
But let me tell you as well.
No, I was saying something.
Sorry.
No, so I like watching telly.
Yes.
But if I've spent too long, I have to do something creative every day.
Right.
Or I feel depressed in the evening.
Yeah, and that's why you're more successful than I am. Because, you know.
But I think that maybe that's a failing in itself. I'm not just happy just being.
That. See, now, because
I was like, that's a way we can slag you off again.
Yeah. But she.
Who? Who? She?
It's because I got
Stop
a text.
looking
It's
at your
because I got a
text.
text at the same time.
Did you get the coconuts in the end?
I got the coconuts.
Okay,
The coconuts are in my kitchen.
Okay.
I've got the lovely bunch of
Don't
coconuts.
sing. That brings me misery, not joy.
Creative every day. Yeah, human and being. Because that's something that's a kind of spiritual thing. Like, we're not just human, we are beings, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that actually that's what meditation gives you. Like, nothing happens in meditation at all.
No.
Like, you just sit for 20 minutes.
It really doesn't.
It doesn't. Nothing
You
happens.
pay a lot of money for literally nothing.
Nothing happens.
Hit the nail on the head.
Do you know what it's like when you do
just chucking money out the windows? You drive along.
When you do TM twice a day, 20 minutes a day, it's like a little holiday twice a day. It's like that.
A holiday from what though? You're telling me you don't do anything.
Well, that's the thing. It's like
you go from nothing to a different way of doing nothing.
I know, but isn't that joy? Like.
Well,
like literally, for me, my favourite. So all my favourite activities are kind of involving
passive.
my bottom. Yes,
Yeah.
like sitting or laying on it.
let's leave that. Let's rest that. Let's park that there. No, I was going to talk to you about but creativity. Yes, I was going to talk about Aristotle. I knew my philosophy degree would come in handy at some point. You're not listening. You're looking at your text.
It's because
that brings me a lack of happiness.
My philosophy
the
degree.
person that you're speaking to.
Yeah.
Then I'm speaking to you doing a podcast
Yeah.
and still haven't got your full attention.
You went my philosophy degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
I got a first.
I knew. I didn't say that. But no, Aristotle he banged on a lot about happiness.
Right.
All right. And
Was he Greek?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, brilliant. Starting out with some knowledge there. So he was a philosopher.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Anyway, so he talked about happiness a lot, as did a lot of philosophers, and what happiness is. And he's talking about well-being. He's talking about that fulfillment of life.
Okay.
The aim of life is happiness. Okay. And then he said the way we find happiness is not through, the pleasure, because there were the hedonists who said it was just through pleasure, through, going from one joy little thing, from one Philip and Holly to like the next line on your ass. That it's not that true happiness for the human being, you have to fulfill the function as a human being. The thing that differentiates us away from like animals is that we have thought and reason, and the ability to be good and to do good things and to be virtuous. And so the true happy life is the one that you're looking at me with such a blank face. The true happy life is the one that fulfills that to its best potential. So the one that uses reason and rationality to do good, virtuous things, rather than the quick fix. I want that food. I want to watch that TV show.
Okay.
Yeah. So the broader fulfillment of being a human is, and he kind of left it broadly open as to everyone to decide how they best do that.
Yeah.
But that was an argument.
Did he live that, though? Did he live that?
I don't know. That's not the point of philosophy. It's not whether they lived it. It's whether... But yes, I think he did.
Because you thought about it. I think about loads of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Oh, there you go.
I think he was making an argument. He was trying to put down a blueprint to answer the question, what is the best life? What's the good life? How do I live the good life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, he had a point. I think... I'm not sure I agree with, but he had a point. I
thought that was interesting.
Come on. It's an interesting. I think, I fit the absolute essence for me for happiness, and I think I want to nail it here.
I don't think you are, but go on.
It's gratitude.
Okay.
Gratitude,
to whom?
For whatever the situation is. Gratitude, because gratitude creates acceptance.
Okay.
Or acceptance can even create gratitude.
Yeah.
That we talked a little bit about it on the podcast last week about allowing things to be as they are,
Yes.
And I think
I agree with that. I think resilience is a part of that.
Yeah, but I think
you can't be happy unless you've learnt the tools to get on with whatever's been thrown at you, and to not be crazy optimistic, but to have that resilience.
But I think if you can be thankful for whatever the situation is, you will never not be happy.
Yeah, although that's difficult to say if you're a prisoner of war being beaten every day or something.
No, but if you could, it's easy to say. So I'm sitting in a podcast in a middle-class town with
me.
But I think
that's pretty joyous. But most people dream of that.
But I think there is an element of acceptance and gratitude within.
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
I do really think that I nailed it, didn't I? That's what I did there.
No,
I do the more thankful I am for stuff, the more stuff I have to be thankful for.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Drops the mic. I mean, really.
I wouldn't say it was mic dropping moment.
Well, I won't drop it because they're quite expensive.
Yeah.
But that was. I think there's a lot of truth in that. I think that.
Also, I don't think one will be happy in life unless if you're always chasing that happiness. If you're always chasing. Because we buy stuff and then we want the next thing, and then we want the next thing, and we move house, and then we want a bigger house. We're always kind of chasing that next thing. You need to find happiness in the pursuit of happiness.
It's a good movie, that one. Yeah. But I think
that was a good phrase. I forgot it was a movie.
It was. It was a movie.
Yeah.
But I think absolutely.
Happiness is not the pursuit of happiness. It's finding happiness in the pursuit. That is mic drop. Right, phrase of the day. Thank you.
I think I'll slightly more nailed it with gratitude.
Right, whatever.
Yeah. And because also where your focus goes, your energy flows.
Oh, shut up. Go and meditate.
That was a beautiful moment.
I mean, it should also be said that in order to have any kind of happiness, you need your basic needs met, don't you?
I think you do.
You need a basic amount of money, you need shelter, you need food.
Oh, yeah, that's that theory thing, isn't it?
Is there a theory?
Yeah. It's called something.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't think I'd just come up with that.
No, you do.
It's my theory.
Yeah, your food, all that kind of basic stuff definitely met. But still, you see, people can be without. If you look at say people in India or somewhere like that, where generally people's well-being is a lot better than us in the West. They feel generally around or happiness, but have far less than we do. Yeah,
this is when we go back to early 20th century, around the two world wars. Happy, obviously, health and wealth was way down in comparison to now, but happiness levels were way higher than they are now. Mm-hmm. So clearly that doesn't equate.
Yeah.
Obviously, you need family and relationships. That we haven't even mentioned that. We've just talked about ourselves as kind of independent beings. We don't need anyone to be happy. It's just us. No, but you do. You need relationships. You need to be able to work that.
Yeah, definitely. That, my husband is my happy place. I am. Again, I'm sitting down on the couch with him watching telly, but that is, he is somewhere where I feel totally safe. And safety is something, you can't have happiness without safety.
That's
I don't think.
I was gonna say we went out on Friday night and had a little bit to drink, and I was a little bit drunken, and I stroked Darren's beard, and I was going to ask you, is that okay?
More than.
Yeah,
I think that every woman should do that.
So I think it was quite sensuously done because it's a very long beard. I think I went down the whole shaft.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I felt a bit bad about that, but that brought me happiness and guilt at the same time.
I don't think you use shaft and beard in this context because that's freaked me out slightly.
It's beard shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
So many things.
So I thought I'd ask if is that okay that I got pleasure from that?
Yeah.
I think he did too.
I'm sure he did. He hasn't mentioned it, but I'm sure he did. Maybe he hasn't because he's enjoying the moment privately.
He enjoyed it too much.
In his head and gone, no, I think every man, I mean,
You think every man wants me to do that? All right.
Every man wants you to, but that's what jealousy, like, doesn't bring you happiness.
Right.
Like, I've never been a jealous person, ever, in terms of my husband.
Yeah.
You know, because of course everyone was.
I used to be.
Did you?
Yeah, with my husband, I used to be because we got together quite young, and I don't think you've grown out of that jealousy thing. Well, I didn't anyway, until I've been married for a couple of years and realised he's really not ever going to go near anyone else. Like he's scared of women.
Yeah,
not scared of women, but he's scared of like flirting. Like he would, if someone came onto him. He would just run a mile, and there's a nice safety in that.
There is,
but it took me a little while to get over that.
See, I just think like, why would Darren like leave this? Like, there's that saying like, when you've got a steak at home, why would you go out for burgers? And I'm like, I'm that steak.
Yeah,
no.
I think you're more burgers, but yeah, when you got burgers at home, why would you go out for steak?
But like, why? Like, he's got all this, and that's what he's like. Because I've been also watching Seeking Sister Wives, like, but it's dreadful. I mean, it's not dreadful. I mean, they are.
What is it?
See, they're Mormons, but not all Mormons.
Oh, okay.
They're not all Mormons, but some of them are, and they have another wife that comes to live with them. And I'm like, No. He can barely handle me. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
And you're going to bring someone else into the equation, and
that just sounds like a nightmare.
And I just think this is the weirdest situation.
It is. Where's the happiness there?
Yeah.
But then, different societies, different people find happiness in different ways.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that. Yeah. Because I was thinking about I've never been to India, but I know a lot of people who have, and they sort of talk about there's a real sense of like peace and joy. There's a huge amount of spirituality in India as well, and we talk about like
you say, and also you haven't made a point. You just randomly.
It's because I
spouting
stuff.
I
tried to talk about something.
Going off on a tangent.
I'm not really sure I have much more information on this in my head.
So you'll just go, and also, after that amazing point I haven't just made,
I'm just going to keep going, and also,
This is the Don't Laugh But podcast brought to you by Kirsty Hudson and Rebecca Elliott. Two women determined to find the funny in everything, or at least pass the time by taking the piss out of each other.
One of my questions was, would you rather be stuck with, and I was going to say in a lift, but then I thought no, because then there's questions of survival. Would you rather be stuck, in a house on a holiday with a really insanely happy person or quite a miserable, cynical person?
Probably, it depends how much they wanted to talk to me, because although I'm a very happy, gregarious person, I really have to be alone quite a lot.
Well, I can imagine you want an excuse to shut yourself up.
Yeah,
like you need a break from your own voice.
Yeah, I do.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, no, I don't. You've got that. But I think that I have to have silence. Like sometimes Darren and I will be in the house and we won't talk. Yeah, I mean that's more his choice. So I just feel that So I think as long as that happy person. And they probably would keep chatting, they probably would.
Yeah.
It's a bit like kids, isn't it? Constant.
Just shut up for a bit.
Literally. Mm-hmm. No one tells you that when you get pregnant. Like, you will never be not talked at.
It'll just be constant noise and picking up stuff for the next 18 years.
But I tell you what, like Dolly Parton said once, that she wants people to feel better when they've left her, been around her for a few minutes.
Okay.
And that's
how you feel about yourself?
That's something.
In a few minutes with Kirsty and people are just all set.
That's something,
right?
yeah.
You're like a tonic.
You're like, but I kind of taken that on board in my life. I want people to feel better around me than not.
The problem is, though, that I quite like miserable people. And that goes against that.
It does. You must struggle with me.
Yeah, well, no, but I like cynical people. I like cynical, sarcastic... kind of miserable. If I was going to choose, I love David.
Really described yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love myself.
Yeah.
I love David Mitchell.
Yeah.
And I love that he, that kind of comic who's just kind of cynical and ranty and funny, angry. I'd much prefer to spend time with him than someone like Jason Manford or a sort of happy comic.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And I fancy, Professor Snape.
Yeah.
I think I like that challenge, that if you can make that person laugh, if you can get in with them, then that really means something. People who laugh too easily, who are too fripping jolly the whole time, you don't feel like you're getting much when you make them laugh, because you think, well, you'd laugh at like a clown falling over or something.
Yeah, you know, I talked about that, about like trying to like make everyone feel good, like when they're around you.
Yeah, good luck with that.
That's really hard when you don't like someone. Like,
what, you find it hard to want to make them feel happy?
Yeah, like I'm not good with not liking people. Like,
no, it's quite obvious when you don't like people.
Is it really? No, I've only ever not been liked seriously by 2 people in my life.
Really? That's quite high, I think. I think most people can go through life without being actively disliked.
Oh, I've been actively disliked by 2 people, like, and like really shown it, like.
Really?
And the first time it happened to me was around 7 years ago, and I lost a friendship for it, and they didn't like me, and they let me know.
Oh.
And I tried really hard.
Horrid.
Oh, it was awful. But I tried really hard to get them to like me, like pathetically.
Because I'm sure there are people who actively dislike me. I mean, I think you'd agree with that.
I'm sure there are.
As long as they do it behind my back, that's fine.
I know.
You know that whole thing, like, say it to my face. You can say something, say it to my face. No, say it behind my back, so I can't hear it.
Yeah.
And then I'm happy.
Yeah.
And we can all just crack on
with
this charade.
Yeah,
we like each other.
Oh no, this guy.
I'd much prefer that.
He did not hide it. He was a friend. He was a boyfriend of a friend of mine, and we were in the bar. And he went round, asked every single person if they wanted to sew. Do you want to do it? Do you want to? Came to me, ignored me.
Oh.
So the next person saying, "Do you want?" Yeah, that wasn't weird at all. Like, that was like...
That's mean.
That didn't make me happy.
No, that wouldn't make you happy.
But I did try. But weirdly, like, I wanted him to like me.
I want to be liked. Yeah. But not so much that I'm going to be polite to everyone.
No, and that's the thing. Do you compromise your own happiness?
I want people to like me regardless of how I am. Yeah, even if I'm rude and cynical and ranty.
Yeah.
They should just like me anyway, right?
And I think that is the healthy response.
Do you think?
I think it's absolutely a healthy response. Take me as I am, or don't take me at all. You know?
Yeah, I think I would outwardly say that now. But inwardly, please like me.
Yeah.
Please like me.
Yeah.
You know, that's a bit pathetic.
Well, I think it's a human response.
You don't like miserable, cynical people, but you like having a rant. You see, that's it. So happiness can come from kind of a miserable place.
Yeah.
I love nothing more than having a good old-fashioned rant about something, or a gossip behind someone's back.
Oh, yeah. I do like to slag someone off. I think that's...
Yeah, I've noticed that.
And I think it's healthy, though. I think it's healthy. There's only certain people I would do it with. Like, I would never talk about anyone unless I utterly trusted the person I was talking to.
Right.
Around it. To not judge me for it, but not to then take that and just have, like, a judgment of the other person as well from that. Like, it's just taking it. Like, it is. And
there's a fun slagging off where it's all quite light, and then there's like really ripping someone apart. I would not do that. But the fun slagging off, you end up bonding with the person that you're slagging off with. If that makes sense, which is a good thing.
Absolutely, you do. And I think
I'm just justifying it.
Well, but I think it's a healthy, and I wouldn't care. I really wouldn't mind if someone slagged me off. Like, it really.
That's good.
It just wouldn't. Like, if someone talks about me, it makes me kind of interesting. It makes me feel more interesting.
Well, it depends what it says.
If someone,
Are you an optimist?
Yeah, but I'm a worrier at the same time. I'm just a worrier. Like, I am, and that's coming from having my dad die. Like, we're talking about. And I come from a family of what my granddad would say. Oh, I'm a bit worried. And he'd say, I said, why are you worried, Granddad? He'd say, well, I've got nothing to worry about. Like, I'm a bit worried about because,
it's a worry when you've got nothing to worry about.
And worry is such a habit, and I have worried my whole life.
Right.
So that. And so
you're like, the glass is half full, but it's half full of...
It's half full, but is that all right? That's it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's half full. Everything's good. And actually, when everything is good and going well, I will go, ooh, you know.
Yeah.
So I am absolutely... Are you an optimist? Is that something new?
Because
I realise you ask me lots of questions, and I generally don't.
Well, you realise that, have you?
It just
struck you, has it?
Yeah.
Half an hour in.
Yeah, go on.
No, well, I think generally I'm kind of an optimist, but a realist at the same time. So I'm kind of hopeful, because optimism is sort of being a bit hopeful, and I'm generally quite hopeful. But again, since Clemmy died, it took a knock at that point. But generally, I'm quite hopeful. Yeah, the glass is half full, but it's a pound shop glass full of weak squash.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? At best.
You won't go in Poundland, so
you don't. No, I won't go in Poundland. No, because I want to retain my happiness that I've got. That's the opposite of happiness: is being in Poundland in that queue.
Right.
Just with a basket full of crap that has still added up to 15 quid, and you've just got like nothing. That's hell. Going back briefly to optimism and it being kind of filled with hope, and like hope's a good thing.
Yeah.
But blind optimism is stupid. I mean, it crosses a line to stupidity.
The way you said stupid is stupid.
It does cross them. Like, you don't want someone just like getting in a car and going, I haven't checked the brakes, they'll be all right. You don't want that kind of like, it's all going to be fine.
Yeah.
Because that's just stupid.
It is.
So you want to bring up your kids to be kind of hope-filled and optimistic, but not just like, it's all going to be fine, the world's going to be handed to me on a plate, because it's not. So you do.
Like
we do mollycoddle our kids a little bit in society these days and kind of make them feel that they're beautiful, they're great, everything's going to be fantastic.
So you want to
obviously that's the natural thing you want to teach them.
Yeah.
But then you think, well, you're going to release them into the wild at some point, and they need to have that kind of resilience because the world is rough.
And that's something that I am trying to create and muster and manifest within myself, is more of a stoic approach.
Yeah.
Like
That's some big words you just used
I know.
all in a row.
I know. That's it.
Wow. That's done now. Yeah, let's dumb it down.
Yeah. Is that because I have an emotional response to everything, and that doesn't always make me happy. My husband's incredibly logical, not illogical. Logical.
Yeah, logical. Yeah.
And that's
rational.
Rational, and that's why it serves us well. Like, I have more of the like emotive. I mean, he can be very emotional with his kids. He's really lovely and loving and stuff. But if I've got a thing, and I will say to her, am I being emotive about this?
Yeah.
He'll absolutely. Like, he will just go like that.
Just cut you down.
Yeah, and it's, I find that really helpful. And because in emotional,
but neither response is the right way. It's good to be a bit logical and a bit rational, but it's also good to have that emotional response.
It is, but it can cause...
I mean, too far either way, and you've just got a nutter.
Exactly, and that's the difference. It's getting that balance.
Which is why both you and Darren are nutters.
Well, but he has more...
But together, you're all right.
But exactly,
you even out into one normal human.
But he has more of an emotion, like more of emotion to match his logic, whereas I have very little logic.
Right.
Like that's why I'm trying to create more stoicism. Like the Stoics, which I'm sure you studied in your philosophy degree.
I didn't. I'm just going to say that every time. I'm very knowledgeable about everything.
Well, that's how they respond. It's like it was Roman, wasn't it, and all that.
Yeah.
To really respond. And Darren Brown, I think he wrote a book on it as well. But I want to go. Because
Darren Brown freaks me out, though.
He freaks me out as well. He's incredibly good at what he does, though.
Yeah, but I actually think, like, what if he is actually evil, like some sort of warlock, and he's pretending? Because the stuff he does, you think that's not magic.
I know.
That is something else. Like, so what if he's actually got evil powers, but he's using it to make money?
Like, and they are called, people that do what he does are called mentalists.
Yeah, I know, right?
You're listening to Don't Laugh But, the often inappropriate and frequently ill-informed nonsense of Rebecca Elliott and Kirsty Hudson.
Money doesn't buy you happiness, and obviously, no, but it also buys you stuff, and I quite like stuff.
I love stuff, but I love getting rid of stuff.
Right, exactly. So in a way, getting stuff is the gift that keeps on giving. No, in a way, getting stuff is the gift that keeps on giving, because you get the stuff, and you get to get rid of the stuff.
I love that. Like, I can't tell you how happy a skip makes me.
Not the crisp.
I enjoy those clearly as well, but a skip is like to me the essence of happiness. There is nothing more than I love about getting stuff out of your house and throwing in a skip is so cathartic.
True.
And I get really excited. They can smell slightly.
Yep. That's just because of the stuff you've put in it. So you're saying your stuff smells.
No.
If the skip of your stuff smells, your stuff smells.
Before you put stuff in it, they can have an odour.
Okay.
An odorous odour.
It's a skip. It's a big bin.
I know.
We'll let it off for
and
smelling.
Also, it's amazing how they deliver them on these big chains, and they come down and they pick it up, and it's all so exciting.
Yeah.
I have worked out that my skip they sort
There's
stuff.
so much euphemism there. Go on, carry on.
That they sort
Your smelly skip,
my
yeah.
skip. That they sort through
You like
that.
filling it.
That it loves being filled. That it's important to fill it on a daily basis, but that they also but they sort through that skip. They sort through that stuff. They recycle
That brings you
things.
happiness.
It brings me joy beyond joy. I love it.
I feel bad when I'm thinking about getting rid of stuff. Like I feel a bit of anxiety about should I get rid of it. But whenever I've got rid of a bag of stuff, I feel nothing but happiness.
It's just
sometimes the journey up to that point, I feel a bit bad. Oh, should I chuck that out? But whenever stuff has gone to a charity shop or to the tip, it feels great.
I've got bags of stuff to take to a charity shop that I worry about that they're not going to like it.
I do. Because now they make you like write down your name.
Do they?
Yeah, quite a few of them make you write down because they want to get the the charity thing. What's it called?
Tax benefits.
Yeah.
To that.
And they want to get that. So, but I quite like to just. I'm like, I want to just drop it off and run because I'm thinking some of the stuff in that bag is dodgy.
Questionably,
like, I think you might get 10p for it, but I don't know. Yeah,
I try and do that, and then I'll put like a good scarf in there as well.
Yeah, just to make them happy. You know that thing about what stuff you should get rid of, and then there's like that woman with the
Hold
TV
it to your
show.
heart if you feel
Hold
love.
it to your heart. Yeah, I think that's absolute crap.
Do you?
I think the way of getting rid of stuff. Try this. Go around your house and think. Look at each object, right? Each bit of clothing. Think, would I spend 20p on that if I saw that in a charity shop window? And if the answer is no, get rid of it. Because it's a surprising amount of stuff in our houses that actually you wouldn't, because you'd have to go through the hassle of going into the charity shop, picking it up, buying it, bringing it home. And actually some of the stuff, like some little vases I've got, or some of my clothes, bras that are older than my kids.
Oh, I know.
You think, if I saw quite a lot of my stuff in the window of a charity shop for even 10p, I wouldn't go and buy it.
No.
So why have I got it in my house?
Yeah, so forget the loving...
holding. Don't love and hold it.
Would I give 10 pence for this?
Would I give 10p for that?
You could write a book.
I'm going to write a book.
That is it.
Yeah.
Would
you
I
do
give...
know that I do write books, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, but about that. Okay,
you could write another book.
Yeah.
Go on. Would I give 10 pence for this?
Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
the title, but I've got nothing else to say apart from that. But then most of these books don't, do they? It's all about the title.
You could
just keep saying it in different ways.
Yes. How much would I want to spend on this? 10 pence? I don't know.
Yeah.
Those things, that kind of thing.
Right.
I love that. I think, that is something I do love to get. There is something about a clear space. That's a spiritual practice as well, getting rid of stuff,
Yeah.
Because the universe doesn't like a void.
The universe doesn't like a void.
It doesn't like a void. Doesn't like
and yet it's happy with this conversation.
It will fill it with something good. Yeah. So
you'd quite like to live as a minimalist?
I'd love to live as a minimalist.
Because I've been in your car and that was not a minimalist space.
See, I can't...
Neither's mine, to be
fair.
fair.
I don't like a messy house so much, but I do love a messy car.
Yeah.
So happiness. So I saw this poster the other day, I think it was a National Trust poster saying, this place makes me feel alive.
Oh yeah, that's
like
a phrase used a lot.
Yeah, and I'm just like, so when you're everywhere else you feel dead, and how can you feel anything but alive?
If that's the best you can say about a place, that when you're here you won't feel dead.
Yeah. I mean,
come to this place.
That doesn't make me want to go there.
Because you will be breathing while you're here. Yeah. That's the best they can
say.
And
that's what I do every day.
Yeah.
I do breathe every day.
Sometimes that's all you do. That and put on ITV. That's all you get done.
Breath absolutely can be... Because, that is something I want to say as well about happiness.
Oh, I thought it was going to be something spiritual about breathing.
Something about, breath is really clearly important.
Do you do the breathing through one nostril and out the other?
Never done
that.
That's
the thing.
Whose thing's that?
You're not allowed to be snotty about other people's weird
There
things
is a thing called 3-4-7 breathing, or 4-3-7, or something. I can't remember the numbers. No, 4-7-8 breathing. So you breathe in 4, you hold it for 7, you breathe it out for 8, and honestly, it really helps you go to sleep.
So how can you just be dismissive about the thing that I just mentioned?
Because
which I didn't even believe in.
You're talking about one nostril.
And
you
have to be in through one nostril and you go out through
one
another.
nostril.
It's like a whole thing.
It's a whole made up thing.
Yeah, but equally, holding your breath for a certain amount of seconds, it's not going to help you go to sleep.
No,
it might help you stop thinking about going to sleep because you're thinking about breathing like an idiot.
You know what?
We don't need help breathing unless you've got a lung problem. You don't need help breathing.
I would like you to try it.
We don't need to pay experts to write books on how to do.
I don't think he has
breathing.
written a whole book. I think he's just.
Of course he has.
He might have done. But also this whole thing about like a type A personality and are they happier? And I see myself maybe
What is a type A personality?
someone who's like really like bang on, like boom, boom.
Like strong, confident, ballsy.
Yeah, they're there. They're on
They're on it.
fire.
They are
They're
on
just
it.
making decisions.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm at best like a type Z, you know, like
Yeah.
at best. I mean, I've got like half an hour after lunch where I'm barely mediocre.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think I'd love to, but would that give me more happiness to
No,
be that person?
I don't think so. Because they're striving. Those kinds of people are.
Striving.
We're all striving for something. They're making up for something, or they're aiming at. Like, why be like that?
Why?
Nobody wants that person around. You know, but people want laid back people.
Yeah, because you're so laid
You
back.
want
That's-
laid. What, you say that sarcastically? Am I not laid back? Am I not? Seriously? Seriously, she says in a really unlaid
Seriously?
back way.
Am
Tell
I?
me how I'm not laid back.
Tell me.
Tell me now.
Are you laid back? I find you easy to be around, so you must be.
Right.
You must have an element of it.
Thanks. That's the best thing you've ever said.
You
There must have an element of something
Do you
because
think I'm laid
because
back?
you can stomach my company.
You're laid back.
There must be an element of that.
What about me? Am I?
You're so laid back. You're lying down
Oh,
most of the
really?
time.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Flaky. I mean, it's a thin line to flaky, though, isn't it?
that. It has its moments.
Last question, which I'm going to ask you, and perhaps in the next podcast you could ask me some.
I will.
Would be so, like on your deathbed, right? If you're looking back and thinking, did I have a happy/good life?
Right.
What would make you think that you had? Because that's not going to be, yeah, I sat on my arse for hours watching ITV.
I think
You have got ambition,
Oh yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So that and the only reason we have ambitions is because we think that's going to bring us happiness, right? Not like massive ambition. I don't mean to rule the world. I just mean like the next step ambition, and to do better in one's career. Or
I think it makes my more life more fulfilling. There is a lot of people who have worked with people who are dying, and I think this is very true. The thing you'll be interested in is, have I loved well, and was I loved?
Yeah.
And I think that's love is
the main thing. Relationships is the main thing.
yeah, absolutely. And but that
I think that, but also I think the relationship between the two. I think as women, often women give their entire life over to the relationships bit. Bringing up the kids and looking after the husband at the expense of their own fulfillment of their own thing at the same time. So I think to try and get that balance, I think you want to. The ideal life would be looking forward to going to work and then looking forward to coming home again.
That's
your mic drop.
well.
That's quite good.
Let me add some to
Come
that.
on, give it. Come on.
It was all right. It had some weight. I think you're right, and I think it is harder for women because of the systems that we have in place.
Yeah.
To create that. So going to work, I feel, provides a really good, a good thing for my daughter to see.
No, but talking about that, I want my kids to do, when I imagine how they're going to be happy, I would quite like them to do a creative job.
Right.
So I'm always, I'm kind of the opposite to a lot of parents who, if their kids came home and said, Mummy, Daddy, I want to be a comedian or I want to be an artist, a lot of parents would be like, ooh, really? You don't want to be a plumber, banker or something? Whereas that would be just joyous to me if that's what they chose to be, a musician or an artist or a comedian. But that's because that's what makes me happy, and I can't really imagine. I don't know why people wouldn't want to be a writer or a musician or a comedian or a actor.
I think that, but my daughter loves singing, and the thought of her, she wants to do it as a job, but that terrifies me. But because I'm scared of people criticising her. Like she would love to go on The Voice Kids. I can't think of anything.
Oh no, yeah. But that's not proper, like going into singing. That is the shortcut.
Yeah.
The youth of today.
I just don't want her to be
stand up
judged
in front of a panel of twats while they choose. No, that it should be hard work and
Yeah, because I
working
think
on your
she's got
craft.
an incredible voice. I mean, she's the most talented child God ever created.
You're
of
not
course.
in any way
Biased.
biased.
Of course she is. All of that stuff. But I still would think I would hate for someone, because I know how people can be critical of like stand up when I'm doing a gig, if a bad gig, good gig, whatever. And I can't imagine.
Yeah, but you do it nonetheless. You wouldn't have it any other way.
No,
even with that.
And I will totally support her if she wants to do it.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying support them as kids doing stuff. So again, I would not put my kid forward for any kind of talent stuff.
Weird, yeah.
I'm talking when they become adults.
Yeah.
You know, when they get to sort of 17, 18 and they're choosing what they want to do or what they want to go and study. At that point, when they're adults, then absolutely try and do something creative.
So what if your kids come to you and go, I want to be a binman?
Then that's fine.
I'm on the bus.
That's fine.
I'm on the buses. That's what I'm doing.
If that's what they want to do, if that makes them...
You would so struggle. I feel you're going, yes, if that's what they want to do.
If that makes them happy, I'd have to just go with it. That's fine. The people who are stuck doing jobs that they hate because they have to do it to make a living, I just think that's one of the biggest tragedies. Because this is your one life on Earth and you're going to spend 2/3 of that working. And if you're not one of the lucky people like we are to get to do what you enjoy doing, and most people don't. Most people live for the weekend.
Yes.
And that's just tragic.
That
to
is
spend
really
2/3 of your life just getting to the bit where you can feel happiness.
But
again.
equally,
just ploughing through it.
But it's also
I know
sad.
it has to be, but I just think it's sad.
But I do think it's then sad at the same time where work becomes everything.
That's what I'm saying. There's that balance. You need to look forward to coming home to your family. You need to look forward to going to work. You need both.
So balance is happiness, isn't it?
There you go. Balance is happiness.
We can end it there.
I think we can end it there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for being here.
If you found that this edition of Don't Laugh But pleasantly killed half an hour or even brutally slaughtered it, why not come back next week for more?